Nuclear missile ready. Nuclear missile ready.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Alpha Pro Series matchup. Today, we have the Wolfpack taking on Alpha X. Is going to be ArT versus AqueroN right here on the EU server. So today we have two amazing players, like I just said. And having a little bit of banter in the chat before we get started, but thank you guys for tuning in to start things off today. And this should be just an epic matchup. Let me just type it in what we're going to be doing first, because I have the ultimate power in the universe. I get to tell these players what they are going to play on. And looks like we're going to be starting off on the map Thunderbird. Now, if you guys haven't seen Thunderbird yet, we're about a couple weeks into the season, so you should start to be seeing this a bit more as the players start to figure them out. And I'm just going to take care of this. So we're going to get this lobby right underway. As we have it, it's going to be a PVT, so if you have seen a lot about this matchup in the coming weeks or in the weeks prior, see what's going. And yeah, hope you guys are having a fantastic Sunday. As we're just going to be hopping right into it, not going to really waste too much time because there is so much StarCraft to do. And yeah, here we go. First map, like I said, Thunderbird. Now, some fun things about this map. Instead of rocks in a lot of locations, a lot of it is blocked off by 5 mineral patches. So if you want to get straight into your opponent's base, you're going to have to work for it, as in getting those SCVs on it. So without further ado, spawning in the bottom, it is our green Terran, AqueroN. His opponent. He may be pink, but he is going for red. It's ArT. And by going for red, I mean blood. That sounded a lot better in my head. But remember, guys, this is a best of 9. So first to 5 will take the series. And remember, Matcherino is where it's at. If you want to support this series, if you want to make sure that you can get your name in the Matcherino credits, just go ahead and hop on over there, do some of the sponsor quests, and also you can add the code. I believe will be posted in chat in a couple of minutes here. That will let you guys know what to do if you want to add some free money to the prize pool. And I mean, who does not like free money? Granted, you don't get the free money, you actually give the free money to these guys, but they will appreciate it, especially as being a pro gamer can be very expensive sometimes. So we do see that probe going to be a bit of a nuisance, even getting some help from that traitor SCV. It's going to get a nice little scout around, just make sure that nothing too crazy is going to be happening in this game. And you can kind of see, actually, just by the route the probe takes, what's going on with this map. So you see, you have to go up the ramp and around if you want to get around those mineral patches. And later on in the game, you can just take them out, but for right now, it is a bit more of a roundabout path. The code has been posted in chat. Just type in Alpha Pro Series 84 and it will add 50 cents to the prize pool. Every 50 cents helps. If you can see right here, we have a bunch of fantastic sponsors as well. And all of those will add some money to the prize pool in differing amounts. You see that Twilight Council on the way, so we'll have to see what route he's going to go with it. A couple of options that he does have are DTs, or he could also be going for a faster blink timing, which can be very powerful on maps like this. The Reaper going to try and get in, but doesn't really see too much right now. But actually that Adept going across the map, not going to be able to defend that probe, and one will go down. The Reaper going to get out of there with his life as well, taking full advantage of all the ramps on this map. So a good little start for him, nice little pick off to get things going. And we do see it is Blink on the way. This Adept being super annoying. So far only one SCV and one probe, so 1 for 1. But unfortunately he lets the Adept in. That's going to get the scout off. Not going to finish it, however. He does not want to lose the Adept just yet. It is a very valuable scouting tool in the later stages of the game. And here we go. He's just going to try and get out of there. Does manage to survive, but that Reaper is on the warpath looking for it. But ArT is just going to be gearing up here for that blink attack. He really wants to get in there and try and get a lot of damage done. The thing is, for AqueroN, he only has a couple of cyclones to defend, and once that stalker number starts to get higher, it becomes a lot more difficult to do, especially when he's going to be moving out here. So we'll have to see how much damage he can get and if he can pull his opponent back on the map, because his big goal here is just delay. That Adept are going to be coming out, scouting out his opponent. And ArT will have Blink for by the time this attack comes in. Does look like he's going to be trying to go for a third base as well. Nice lock-ons right there, but unfortunately they're not going to get too much done. But he will get one of those pylons to start things off. Luckily for ArT, he did start another one. And this attack does look to be thwarted for right now. That Blink, excellent control there. Fortunately loses the Cyclones as well. Small mistake there from AqueroN. That is a lot of his units dead in the water. As we got a couple of racks coming up as well. That siege tank is pretty much all he has right now to defend against this. So we'll have to see if he's going to be able to. This is a very scary Protoss army. Might even just blink on top of that tank, as the bunker will not be complete, and he does get on top of it. SCVs are pulled to defend, but very, very stocky, very, very eerie. I don't know what I just said there, but it works. Good War Prism Micro as well, losing 3 of those workers on the other side of the map. 5 going down to this Liberator, but that will have to get on out of there. So a good little bit of counter damage. But for right now, ArT still looking to end this game with this. He's got Zealot Charge on the way. As well, the Immortal even going to be coming in. Wants to get on top of that tank, but the Viking doing a very good job of zoning this out. Those Marines need to get in the bunker. Do not get a chance to. And now it's pretty much a very difficult defense here for our Terran player. He saved the third base, which is really nice because he will be able to get mules from that to recover. But the Immortal just not going to go down and is going to pick off the tank once again. The Warp Prism did go down, but there's just so much Protoss here. It's going to get a lot of damage done. Seven more workers going down versus all of this. Currently a 10-worker deficit, and it's only getting bigger. That Liberator still just chilling out on this side. Wants to get some damage done. And now I do think ArT has gotten the kind of damage to just kind of back off and not really push the issue anymore. Stim delayed for quite a bit of time. Marines will not be able to chase these guys down, and in fact they will just be able to get on out of there after taking one of those shots prematurely. And you know, one thing I am looking very forward to in this series is, from what I've read about ArT, he is a big fan of SOS, and if you know SOS, you know we got some fun plays coming up. This is one of those workers. The Warp Prism going to be coming in with those charged zealots. And there are a lot of weakened SCVs here. We'll have to see if AqueroN is paying attention. I think the Liberator just went down. But now it's still a very tricky situation here for AqueroN, because he just doesn't really have the ability to move out and take that third base comfortably yet. Hasn't seen that observer just yet either. Really wants to get a good scout on that, but this does allow ArT to come on in here with those charge slots. And workers are just still falling like flies. Forcing the pullback, but he will get on out of there as his main force starting to move forward. He has Storm, he has Charge, he has everything he needs to try and break this stim. Still a ways away. We got about a minute left on that. And ArT just really looking very powerful in this game. Even hiding those High Templars in the back. One more big warp in. And this engagement looks to be the end of it here. Even focusing fire on the wrong thing as those tanks just instantly fall here. It's all going to be up to those Marines on the high ground, but the storms just absolutely blanket everything, and GG is called. ArT will take game number 1. A very convincing first game there, showing his dominance. In this matchup for the time being. We'll have to see what will AqueroN respond with in terms of the map. Will he go with will he go with one of the safer maps for macro, or will he go for a map where he can cheese? Don't know just yet, but it's actually going to be Acropolis. One of the newer maps as well. And the thing about Acropolis is it does favor kind of those mid-game, middle of the map engagements. So we'll have to see who can come out on top in those kind of games. I'd like to remind you guys, events like this are not possible without sponsors, especially a couple of our big ones like 24-Hour Fitness. You can bring your friends to get your workout plans, but they will help you sculpt your dream body. Whether you're just looking for a day or an all-nighter as well, it's in the name. 24-Hour Fitness with 436 locations. They will equip you with weights, studio classes, and awesome personal trainers to get you what you need. So go ahead and check them out at the Matcherino page and see how you can get a 7-day free pass to one of their locations. Yeah, check them out. Awesome sponsors. And you know what else is going to be awesome? Hopping into game number 2. So without further ado, spawning in the bottom position, it is AqueroN. His opponent. In the top of it, it is ArT. Really good name for him because that first game was a masterpiece performance. And yeah, we're gonna hop right back into it with some pretty standard play here for the time being. You can see ArT is gonna be going through the middle, and the big thing about the middle is it does go for those mid-game engagements. It's kind of like a bit of an arena with all the sand like you'd see in Gladiator. So that's one of the things I really like about this map. It's very fun to kind of just watch and look at it aesthetically. These guys are looking at it a bit more strategically than I am, as we do see that probe going to be a bit of a nuisance here, and that's really what you want to be doing as a Protoss player, just kind of pulling these workers off the line, hurt the economy of your Terran opponent, and then go on and get on out of there, because you won't really get too much else done. Okay. So we are going to see that reactor coming down, rather than getting that factory early on. Actually, this is going to be a very fun little one because it is going to be 2 Rex. There are a couple variations of this build. Obviously, a lot of people have seen the one with Zerg, but this is going to be a bit of a variation here. Going to be trying to hit a good timing. We do have Stargate across the map, so this is also very defensive against oracles as well. So we'll have to see what kind of timing he's looking to hit here. It's a good one. I'm going to steal this, and I am going to use it on everyone on ladder. So all you Protoss players in Diamond 2, really hope it doesn't work. So, just going to be pumping out units. The Oracle going to be chrono boosted out. He really wants to get that into a nice timing position. But he doesn't know the number of Marines, which is the big thing here. And ArT actually looking to...
Game paused.
A little bit of a pause here, as ArT is going to be going for a bit of an attack.
Game resumed.
And yeah, he's going to be going for a bit of a timing behind all of this. You can see he's building up that gateway count. He's currently got 3 across the map, and it's actually going to be at depths, it looks like. So, Adept Oracle is a very, very aggressive timing. The problem is just, again, the number of Marines that are going to be out. The Oracle will do a good job of thinning the numbers, but just the fact that there is 2 base production will help out a lot. And so far, he's actually only seen it as a 1-1-1. He doesn't know about the additional units that are being produced. Only 1 medevac. So a bit of a variation there. But here we go. He's just going to warp in a lot and try and get through this. Stim, still halfway from being completed. It's got a couple of Widow Mines, but they're defending the main base. Some great focus fire. The SCV pull as well. Just really messing with the AI of this opponent. Making sure that those Marines stay alive a lot longer. And just needs to buy time for Stim. That is his big goal right now. ArT's got to be asking himself, where are all these units coming from? But as long as he's able to pick them off nice and slowly, he should be able to push this position a little bit longer before having to get out of there. Needs to be careful not to get caught by those stasis traps. Ooh, actually a really nice move right there. Gonna set one off. Needs to know about this other one. He does. And now that Stim is complete, ArT knows that he cannot get anything else done with this push and will have to back on out of there. 3 Oracles, though, is a very scary thing to witness as a Terran player. Reinforcements gonna start getting picked off by him as the SCV line is in a bit of trouble. Almost gets one, just barely misses it. Good focus fire on the missile turret as well, gonna get that last one. And then now it's kind of a dance of death for these Oracles. Needs to get out of there. But he did get 7 workers. So overall he did get some damage done. And behind all of this we are going to be seeing a Depth Glaive, +1 attack, and a greater gateway count as he's already got his 3rd Nexus on the way. Losing another Oracle as well. Has to be careful not to lose this last one. You need some revelations later in the game. But overall, like, we still have a pretty even game. If we take a look at that income advantage, it is in AqueroN's favor, or ArT's favor rather, but overall, what will happen is as that 3rd base goes up and the mules start to drop, he will be in a much better position. He takes out that 3rd Oracle at home, taking away a little bit of his tension. But here we go. This just now gets spotted. But there is still nothing in position just yet. Those Adepts gonna be shading on in, and those are the big worries for the Terran player. Gets a couple of good shots off, but he will have to get out of there, picking off the starport. Hoping that that does something later on in the game. Blink not yet finished, but just about to be done. And overall, nice little drop there. Forces his opponent to know that this is out on the map, and really makes it so that he can't really move out without fear of those drops going in. Well, double-pronged as well, but there are plenty of Adepts in position for that. He did see it with the Zelnaga Watchtower. Really, now it's kind of just a power-up period for our Protoss player. Warprism going to be going across the map, looking to do some hurt on his opponent. ArT in a nice little position here for both of these drops. So AqueroN really will need to pay attention to this. And he does. The blink just barely out of range here. The Adepts gonna be coming in. There's really not much here to defend either. And now ArT can be as annoying as need be out on the map here. But losing that is a huge deal. He did get 7 workers behind all this, but the worker count is actually relatively even, all things considered. Now, AqueroN's actually going to be on the warpath. He knows that this is a lot of adepts out here on the field, and wants to take advantage of that, get those Widow Mines, which will do a lot of splash damage to him, even just setting them up for the retreat. Forcing a cancel on that 4th base. Scans going down. Needs to be careful though, because that is a force field with this. Instead, it's just going to go for the main base, but that might actually be his mistake, losing 2 medevacs very quickly. Actually, there's not a lot here for ArT to defend. Needs to do something with this amount of units, though. This is actually a fantastic position for AqueroN right now. Waiting for the shade-in to be done. Forces a recall. Blinks into the Widow Mine splash damage. And AqueroN just doing a fantastic job of using these medevacs to move around the map, as he will get on out of there while still up over 30 army supply. Huge Adept Warp in is going to take his attention away from the front, however, as he is in just every base at once. One sec, guys, gotta sneeze. Never mind, these adepts are just too good to miss for a sneeze. And 16 workers going to be going down here, 17, and that number is going to continue to rise as he just keeps moving in and out with these adepts. So both players just showing amazing control with those drops. This guy's a little bit out of position here. Once again, that warpism really low, but still able to get a lot done. Picks off in this location. Pickoffs in this one, and it will get on out of there. They just attack so fast with that upgrade. They're able to get so much done. AqueroN, though, for his credit, is still holding strong at 50 workers. He has stayed very consistent in that regard. But needs to start looking towards either a 4th base or an all-in, because the thing is, he's starting to run out of minerals in both his main and natural. Another big drop going to come in, and this entire army, Disruptors, Blink Stalkers, is all in the 4th base, looking to defend that frontal push. So a 2-pronged attack may be what does them in. Disruptors, very slow moving units. Now that he sees the DTs as well, wants to pick that off. He doesn't want anything going wrong with this engagement. Is just going to get on out of there as those stalkers come in to defend, leaving a few units to pick off a few units as well. Scans going down on the 3rd base as well. Disruptors in position, needs to get those money shots. It looks like he will be able to defend this position a little bit easier, but that's still a lot of Terran with this push. Using 17 more workers back at home. That warpism putting in the work necessary. The AqueroN starting to lose a bit of focus here, as just having some trouble keeping that momentum. Only has one medevac of units right now. Does not want to lose those, as in this point of the game, you need to be using your gas in other aspects. But for right now, both players have started to stabilize on that four base economy. It's going to slow down for a couple more seconds, and as I say that, AqueroN once again going to be going for a big doom drop. Fortunately though, this might have been scouted by ArT. He has a lot of stalkers in position to defend against this. So a couple good scans are going to be necessary. The bird count is growing pretty steadily. He still has a very big army supply lead. That War Prism though, just so low. Stalker's actually out of position now. There are a lot of gateways with this about to go down, but this big army for AqueroN getting taken down. That was a lot right there. Takes out the Nexus, gets those Liberators sieged up in his position, but ArT going to be going for a bit of a base trade here. Going to quickly focus down that 4th base expansion. Cybernetics Core does go down, as do a lot of those gateways, however. So a lot of what you see here is all ArT's going to be able to make it, and it's getting picked off quite heavily. Disruptor shots, not where he needs them to be. Getting that +2 attack, or a +1 gas, or a shield rather. As 26 workers going down, there's not much left for AqueroN either. He's actually not mining anything at this point. But ArT just having a lot of trouble stabilizing. Will actually go back to try and defend this, but his army is segmented. Scans going down, and I think if you note, he needs to hit that DT shrine, because that is the one big way that he is going to lose this, is if a couple of DTs are warped in. Now keep in mind there are still workers. As long as there's workers, like ArT, or AqueroN rather, is still in this. He still has a very scary army supply and is very mobile with this force. ArT though is still mining, although some of his workers need to start again. Geez, just an action-packed game here. Both players still able to produce, so that is always good. Means this game will go on longer. Finds one of the Nexi, but he has to get out of there because he can't really fight this army straight up with what he has anymore. Great splits, going to prevent those disruptors from getting the money hits. But what does ArT really have with all of this? Still got that Colossus, a lot of stalkers to take down those medevacs. And he just has a very beefy army for all of this, so AqueroN, knowing this, is kind of just back off for the moment. There is no DT Shrine anymore, so that is a saving grace. Revelation going to go down on all of these units as well, so just keeping a close eye on this very mobile Terran force. ArT in a pretty decent position here, all things considered. What AqueroN really needs to do is send a couple of units down here, but to do that he needs to scout it out. Once again, we see that DT Shrine. He's just really trying to make it work. overall, he just feels confident now. Army supply 109 to 99. Those liberators in the sky are the saving grace for this Terran. Can't really engage this. One decent shot off. And AqueroN be going towards this base. He now knows that it's there. Trying to delay mining. Pick off a lot of them. But has sacrificed a lot of Marines for all of this. Actually, those Marines are still in. ArT thought he cleaned it up, but he did not. The stasis trap going to stop some of those units from moving in, but yeah, AqueroN just needs to play this slow. Do not move in unless you're absolutely sure you can take this, because otherwise you're just going to have a really bad time. Plenty of storm energy has been built up. A huge one on this Terran bio. And he will have to back on out of there as his Liberators in the sky were taken out. Currently, he only has 9 workers through all of this. Another couple of huge storms going off. And I think this is just way too much Protoss. GG is called. ArT takes game number 2. So, ArT taking a very decisive 2-0 advantage in this best of 9 series. We'll have to see if he can continue that trend. Let me just move some things around for you guys. As it will be Kairos Junction as AqueroN's next pick. And you know, when you're looking for things to pick, you need to check out our sponsor, GameStop. They've always brought the power to the gamers. They have always supported a lot of the gaming community. And now they have a brand new esport initiative. So if you want to check out some of the world's most prominent teams and get them coaching, and get coaching from them, as well as some other great benefits, go ahead and check out their website from the sponsor pool on the Matcherino page, and check them out. So GameStop, power to the gamers. We will be getting game number 3 underway. Like I said, it's Kairos Junction, an old favorite from a newer map pool. So we're hopping right into it with a lead for our Protoss player. Sorry about that, guys. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom position. He's been feeling the power of Protoss. Let's see if he can bring it back with this cheese. Is AqueroN. His opponent up in the top position. It is Alpha X's ArT. So AqueroN just gearing up for what looks like to be just a 1 proxy kind of deal. Obviously, this will be scouted out by ArT when he goes to the other side of the map and there is no SCV for him to poke. But ideally, what he's doing with this is he is just looking to kind of throw his opponent off guard, in the sense that he's not really going to be committing to this too hard. He's going to make ArT think that there is a much bigger proxy, especially since he is taking that second gas. But overall, this is really just meant to get that Reaper out push it across as quickly as possible and just be a bit of a nuisance while getting your factory up back at home. What this does for us as well is that Zealot to kind of kite the Reaper around. And yeah, overall this did work exactly as AqueroN has planned it. That Cybernex core going down before Nexus as well. So it really forces ArT into a bit more aggressive stance. And the Reaper will come on out and just kind of poke around for the time being, even going past the Zealot. Oh no, AqueroN has to be careful here. He does not want that Reaper to go down just yet. Even going to get a second one to help him out. Back at home, that probe just going to scat around, sees that it is a factory behind all of this. And one sec, guys, I have someone knocking on my door. It was a lie, whoever did it, ding dong dashed. But probe for an SCV right there, nice little trade-off. You can kind of see that second SCV going down because it was across the map. But it does look like we're going to be getting Magfield Accelerator on the way. So this kind of tells me we might be seeing some Battle Mech versus Protoss here. Battle Mech been kind of making the rounds, especially in the TVZ crowd, but we have seen a lot of high tier players also using it against Protoss to great effect. And really what it does is it allows high mobility as well as high damage output. The best way to take care of it really is just to get a lot of units, get charge, get a couple force fields in there to block off the Hellions, and behind all of that you'll be in a fantastic position as the Protoss player. But we'll have to see. Will AqueroN's control be on top of things? Keeping very safe as well, going for that blink style of play. We'll scout out that this is coming across the map, and that allows him to be in a great position to defend against it. Those Reapers won't be able to get up. They will have to stay and fight. But Blink just now going to be finishing here. That'll make it too difficult for those Cyclones to really get anything done. Behind all this, we don't actually see any kind of transition here, or rather what he's going to be going for behind this. We've got the Cloak Banshee, but until he throws down those extra units, we won't really know what's up. Picking off the Observer is very nice. Siege Tank is in position as well. But you've really got to be mobile with that Siege Tank. You can't just stick it in one place and forget about it, because otherwise it will get taken out. Banshee about to come on in here, but there is shield batteries in position, so that won't get too much done either. Just kind of probing the front, seeing if there's any weak point in the defense. Yeah, the Banshee really just taking the shields off everything. Not really able to get any finishing blows. You need to meet up with the other one in order to really take care of business. But I do like that he is out here on the map, just being very aggressive. And making sure that he knows when his opponent's going to be moving out. and just kind of wanting to punish him if he does. There's going to be bio behind this. I was wrong about my battle mech idea. But still no stim with any of this. So looking to get those pickoffs. Wants to get that first siege tank. Everything you pick off here will make this push so much weaker. Trying to get that Raven, but just barely misses it. Now the problem is you can't really wait that much longer to move out with this. AqueroN needs to cloak up, but did not get the chance. He actually canceled cloak. Oh no, that's terrible, because with those two Banshees could get past those force fields, but now these Stalkers gonna have full free reign of the map. Gonna get a couple of pickoffs here and there and be able to blink on back. So far not gonna deter AqueroN just yet. So he will be going towards that third base location, looking to set up a very good position for himself. Those Cyclones going on down, using the natural choke to his advantage. The War Prism, however, gonna help out quite a bit. Focus fire on the Cyclone, not gonna get it, just 2 HP left. He's really gonna be kicking himself for not getting that. But charge has completed. All the Marines starting to go down, and that's going to really force this position to be overrun once again. GG is called, and ArT takes it 3-0. So AqueroN having a little bit of trouble there, just getting through the defense of ArT. So we're gonna see what he picks for the next one. Remember, this is a best of 9, so it is the first to 5 before someone wins. And I'd like to remind you guys, when doing some StarCraft, it's getting hot, it's the summer months, so make sure you rehydrate. Keep yourself in good health, and you will be able to play StarCraft a lot longer, because if you pass out from lack of water, I've learned you lose a lot of ladder points. That's just from personal experience. So we're going to get Turbo Cruise on A. And Turbo Cruise, another one of the stranger maps. We've had a lot of new additions to the map pool, which have been very interesting design choices. Those are those map choices. Turbo Cruise does have those inhibitor zones in the middle. So any direct attack is stalled in that regard. And should be interesting to see how these players react to that. Trying to get the players in the lobby now. All right, just waiting for the go. And here we go. Game number 4, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have to see if AqueroN can take it back. He's got a big uphill battle ahead of him, but you know what? If there's anyone who can do it, it is AqueroN. After all, this is the #1 ranked player in Spain, so give him your energy, ladies and gentlemen. as here he is in the top position representing wolf packs. It's AqueroN or AqueroN. It's pronounced in Spanish, but unfortunately I don't really speak Spanish. And let's do that again, because I did forget to do that, but luckily I can now see that. So spawning up here, raise your energy, raise your hands for Wolfpack's AqueroN. And his opponent, showing dominant performances in all of his games, but will he be able to close it out? It is ArT. Representing Alpha X, the sponsors of this tournament series. So if you like what they do, you can check out all of their channels, all of their social media. They have quite a bit of it. And they do a lot of stuff in the EU and in a community. Just have a huge community to do so with. And they put on awesome shows just like this. So go ahead and check out their social media all over the place. And you'll see what I'm talking about here. Now, we do see a bit of a more aggressive style here. He's got that cybernetics core first before the Nexus. So that shows that he is going to be taking up very hard through all of this. Even just going to be denying that natural base for as long as possible. Although, the good thing about Terran is you can put it off center like this and just move it later. Okay. So the Reaper going to scout around, make sure that there's nothing too cheeky. This would be the map to kind of proxy as a Protoss player, because it would allow you to get around those inhibitor zones. But this Adept just going to shade on through, kind of see how much that slows you down. These things are like the anti-24-hour fitness. Instead of giving you the ideal body, they take it away from you. But unfortunately, the Adept gonna get in once again, delays that CC, which is a pretty big deal, and AqueroN starting to struggle a little bit in that regard. As you see, he had to make that pull. Even just gonna get on out of here. The two Stalkers gonna be made, one across the map already, the second one probably gonna be on the way, all things considered. Bit of a supply block. That command center is a very vital part of the build for getting out of that supply block. And look at that, he's trying to get a Widow Mine out. So far, no dice just yet, as that second Stalker going to be moving across the map. A Widow Mine not going to be done in time. And now these Stalkers, they do have better speed than the Marines, so they will be able to kind of just kite forever here almost, and get some nice little pickoffs, especially if they want to pull back pretty far. So far, a pretty decent defense here. He's only losing Marines, which really is not affecting him too much here, as he's having a decent time just kind of forcing this back. Blink on the way as well. That Warp Prism should be there to give vision. And yeah, it's looking to be very similar to game number 1, with a little hint of game number 3 in there as well. As we do got those siege tanks on the way, he might be looking to do another timing with that. The ArT is going to be able to understand that, and is going to be across the map to deny his opponent as much as possible. We're going to get in a nice big old scout of everything that's going on. The Robo Bay, a big tell as well. We've seen ArT. He likes his disruptor play. And in fact, he likes a lot of the Stranger styles. That has to come from him being a fan of SOS. Probably learned a lot from SOS. But that Warp Prism going to be coming across as well. Nice, decent position here, although, gotta say for AqueroN, he's got a nice coverage as well. Going for the tank, but not going to be able to get it. Reaper going to make sure that nothing else is coming out, and this Liberator actually looking for a very good position to go. Unfortunately, wastes a little bit of time there. Trying to act like he was going for the natural. Might actually get picked off here, and it does. So, nice little pick off there for ArT. That's going to make things a little bit easier for him. And we do see, by the way, AqueroN does not have that third base just yet. And ArT's going to see this kind of move out. It's going to put himself into a fantastic position here by just forcing AqueroN to delay, but it does look like AqueroN does not want to delay this any longer. He is going to go straight for the jugular. Might even be a bit of a base trade situation, but unfortunately, if it is, he is already very far behind. As you just get a blink on top of that Liberator. Takes that on out. Gonna siege up in a very nice position, denying that, denying access to the third base. But how much will he really be able to get done here, being very aggressive with those tanks? No stim, by the way. Still got a lot of army left for ArT. That disruptor not going to get its shot off, actually. That was very nice. You know, AqueroN still has a pretty scary force right here. But unfortunately, it's about to start getting flanked by these Zealots, and losing even a single one of those tanks is a big deal. The Zealots actually do all go down. There's one tank left. Oh no, ArT's starting to fall apart a little bit here. A couple more Warpins. Needs to buy himself some time, but losing quite a bit. There actually is nothing here on that third base. It's not mining. But now the tank does go down, so defense gets a little bit easier. Wants to get that Warp Prism. It actually does not get the focus fire it down. There it goes. It does die. This actually might be the end of ArT here. Lost quite a bit. There's still units streaming across the map. Nice disruptor hit, getting 4 of those Marines. Wants to deny mining at this second Nexus, because then he will be ahead again. And actually, those mules doing him a huge favor here, as he did lose a lot of SCVs in that last attack. But yeah, overall, like I'm liking ArT's position once again. He's able to start picking things off, and GG is actually called. So ArT going to go up 4 games to match point. Now what that means, guys, we got 2 more maps that we can go for, and then it's going to rotate around. But it's been a great series so far. Going to do a quick commercial break while I'm going to send you guys over to our sponsors. So check those out while we get the next game set up. And thank you guys for tuning in so far. Been having a blast. I muted myself. Sorry, guys. But one of the big things is he has been selling the fact that this is Phoenix Adept while going into that robotics bay and just using these units to put on a bit of pressure while also not really going too far out. Behind all of this, he's got the third base and the robotics facility just chilling on out. But AqueroN wants to hit this timing a lot earlier. He only has one tank with this and a couple of cyclones. Those Phoenix going to be absolutely instrumental in all of this. And I think he actually just missed this, so he has no idea that this is coming. Getting a nice focus fire on those sentries, wasting their force field energy. This base actually in a pretty bad position. SCVs, even just helping out, not even building a bunker just yet. So he will get the cancel on that. There is currently no force fields left. Vikings actually doing a fantastic job as well. Disruptor shot going in the wrong direction, but will get a cancel on the bunker. He wants to take that out as quickly as possible, and he does get to do so. Keep in mind, he does still have a lot of scary forces. The problem is they're all segmented by this position. The Phoenix can't get on top of that siege tank because of those Vikings. So if he's going to move, he's going to have to do so soon. A good start getting that off. But now that the bunker is up, this becomes exponentially harder to deal with. But yeah, those Adepts are going to have to be the saving graces here. As he actually is going to send the Marines back home, it looks like. But he actually realizes his mistake there. Oh no, and even just losing Disruptors, he's going to have to dive on this, he feels. The Immortal in the back, not taking any damage. A pickup on the tank is very good, but Focus Fire will take out the Phoenix. Unfortunately, the tank does go down. He needs to get that last bunker. This has already done a lot of damage for AqueroN. So this has been a very worthwhile push. But back at home, he actually did lose 4 workers. I think there was a small Adept shade. Oh, just overall, ArT got set back quite a bit with that. Although now he's going to be looking to do some damage of his own. Almost runs into that army. Loses one of the Phoenix. Oof. Gotta take a breath after that one. Wants to get a pick off on that Raven, it looks like. He knows that that is a linchpin unit in this attack. It's quite a bit here for AqueroN. Just a random disruptor. You know, as you do, you throw random disruptors everywhere. One will find the army. Now there is not a lot here. Stim is complete. So it's going to come down to these disruptor shots to third base. Once again going to get taken down. These shots so much more powerful with the Dorito dust. Phoenix all getting taken out the disruptors as well. This is the army of ArT just fading away. The supply is doubled for AqueroN. Did not get the third base, however. Tries to get the save off on that. Yeah, it's pretty much just ArT scrambling for defense right now. He can't really afford to do much else. He needs to chrono boost these out. Get some more units as quickly as possible. But, oh no, look at this. 4 and 5 bases coming down for our Terran player. I say it's not looking good. So the big thing, unfortunately, was he did decide to go for those disruptors. It just didn't pay the dividends that he needs. Big engagement coming down here. Splits are amazing. Actually, this force is starting to get taken out here. Unfortunately for AqueroN, he went a little bit too far forward. But he's still in a fantastic position, even getting 5 probes in the main base. Gonna get that Artosis pylon, and GG is called. The start of a comeback, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, 1 sec, guys. Okay, so we will have a moment here before we go on to Cyber Forest. And yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying the series so far. You know, that last game starting to look like the best form. And just gonna be waiting on ArT. He did decide to step away for just a second. Probably needed a sec. You guys know it can be a little buggy getting people into lobbies. Yeah, Cyber Forest, a great map pick. It's a bit smaller, but there are a lot of choke points that you can get into. So that it can be a little bit difficult to get around with an army that doesn't fight well in a choke. But here we go, guys. Cyber Forest, game number 6. Stick around. Right about now. So he is currently up 4 games to 1 and looking to close it out. He's still on match point. It is Alpha X's ArT. And his opponent. Down here in the bottom, the start of a comeback is real. It's Wolfpack's AqueroN. Was going to go gas first, but decides to cancel it. So there we go. He was looking to do a Rax first build, so nothing too crazy with that cancel. He just made a little bit of a mistake in his build order. Back over here, this is an odd position for it, but I do like it because it does prevent the Reaper from getting up in that location. So full approval here from this caster. Aaron also going to be scouting out here while his SCV gets a little bit of poke damage. But overall, ArT's really going to have to take back that edge he was getting. This is the last game for him, he wants to think. And he does not want AqueroN to get back into it and start that comeback, because that can be very demoralizing as a high-tier player. But you know what's not demoralizing? Sponsor quests. And we got some great sponsors, just like GameStop. GameStop, you know those guys, they've always brought power to the players, but now they're bringing power to the esports players. They got some new initiatives with top professionals and their coaches giving out coaching and stuff, so check that all out at the Matcherino page. Go to the website, that adds about 30 cents to the prize pool, and you can bring power to the gamers through GameStop. I'm actually going to write that down. And we're gonna head into this one with the power they give us. Adept gonna be coming in and being very annoying, trying to get that Reaper, but does not succeed. Needs to get that depot up to make sure that Adept does not scout what is going on. And behind all this, he's just reacting as you normally would. Looks to be another Twilight play, which we have seen does lend towards Blink. Sorry guys, I must be allergic to Blink or something. But yeah, once again that Adept just going to be shading in. Not going to get too much done, kind of just forces a reaction out of our Terran player. And here we go. So again, both players just going to be powering up, getting ready for this push. And AqueroN going very aggressive in his macro, getting that third base a lot quicker than we've seen in previous games. Hopefully that does mean if he takes more damage, that he will be able to kind of recover from it more, because he will have those mules, which really help out. Kinda hiding the stalkers as well, but this Reaper needs to get in there. He sees Blink. The good thing for him is that you do see if something is researching, and from the number of stalkers that he sees, he can easily assume that this is Blink, and can react accordingly, getting those siege tanks, getting that bunker up on the high ground. I think you can actually get in here as the stalkers. And here we go, the Warp Prism coming in as well to help give vision. The Adept going to scout around, see what's going on. And this is going to be difficult for him just because there is a lot of ground to cover for this defense. That's why this is a very powerful build for this map. Just getting a nice little scout around with the Adept actually going to get in as well, but unfortunately that is going to be the death of him. Just looking for a position to get into. And really just biding his time for this Warp Prism to come in, waiting for the next big warp in. And here we go. Actually, the Raven preventing that Observer from going up. He's going to have to rely on the Warp Prism for vision, and actually not committing just yet. Being very cautious. Good micro with that Warp Prism, just gonna keep those stalkers alive for as long as possible. But yeah, that forward defensive position is just absolutely gutted right now. Gonna have to look for a bit of a different angle if you want to get in on this. Siege tank is in position, so just going for a couple of pickoffs here in the back won't really do it. You did commit a lot to this, but overall it is keeping the Terran back, preventing him from being able to move out, keeping him from knowing that the charge and Templar Archives is on the way behind all of this. So yeah, pretty much has stabilized. Charge completes. Storm is on the way. It's about halfway done. And both players just going for their upgrades while also taking their third bases. ArT's had his for a while, and AqueroN just now drops his. So overall, these guys, if you just take a look at it all, super even on both fronts. Once that storm gets completed, though, that's going to be the real turning point of this game. Like we were saying, there's a lot of very narrow choke points on this map. So the big thing is, if you get caught in one of those positions, you're going to get absolutely lambasted from storms. It's gonna feel like summer in Florida, the amount of storms you're going to be hitting. And looks like he is going to try and hit that timing with it. A couple of Templar in that War Prism. Prevent them from getting ghosted, but there are no ghosts out. If he can get the Raven off with an interference matrix, that would be his best case. But here we go, the charge just coming in, getting straight on top of those siege tanks as they start to fall. Storms hitting more of the zealots than anything here. Actually, a pretty decent defense here from all things considered. He takes out a lot of these units. That Cheeto dust, you can't engage with that right now. But unfortunately, another huge storm takes out a lot of this army. There's still quite a bit left. The recall is forced. And AqueroN holds on with only 9 workers lost. He is in within spitting distance of his Protoss opponent. Funny thing is, since that sensor tower actually did not complete, that observer has gone unscathed. Probe, thinking he can fly, but you know what? This is not basketball. This is not Space Jam. He cannot believe he can fly. But just opening up more of these positions, that's big storm drop, killing off 12 workers in the third base. Even a second War Prism because he knows this one might go down. Big reinforcement point here coming again. ArT is just going to keep hitting his opponent over and over again until he knows for a fact he is dead. There is a lot of siege tanks in this position, however. That is not really conducive to a very powerful attack. Big drop going to be going down in the main base as well. Forcing that defensive warp in. A lot of Marauders is going to mean that those Zealots can't get on top of this. This is actually huge, as it does force him to come back home to defend. Luckily for him, he does have that War Prism coming on down into the main base. Gonna do what he can. Storms blanketing the army in the main. That big old pickup there to try and save what he can. 9, 10 workers going down. Oh, so both of these guys just bashing heads right now. This is turning into a pretty scrappy game, as both sides just getting little bits of damage done here and there. Now, there's only about 2 High Templars worth of storms right now. Does he actually see this? Okay, so I actually just learned that sensor towers don't detect cloaked units, which is... I can't believe I didn't know that. But with that double warp prism, he's just like really able to keep AqueroN on his toes. That Yeah, you're not really going to be able to break that position as the Protoss. Like, you'd need a lot more Immortals to deal with that. Okay. So just going to walk around here. And we see this big Doom drop. Going to be going once again. Huge shots going off on these Stalkers. Warpism, once again, gotta be careful with it. He wants to get those storms off. That is a juicy mineral line for it too, but it's just not gonna happen. Your High Templars will die before you even get close. It's in the main base as well. Gonna make sure that there's no chance of anything happening, but he's actually gonna move in on it. 14 workers going down. More storms, killing off 21 workers. That is a fantastic amount of damage. A huge warp in of Stalkers in the main base as well. Going to be looking to take out these medevacs before they can unload. Unfortunately, they do not succeed. And he might actually force a recall here into the main base. And yeah, getting +3 denied. I don't know if he actually recalled enough here. Although AqueroN did lose a lot with that blink. Now it's AqueroN's turn to be out on the map. It's still relatively equal English. Who needs it? It's only my first language. It's the only one I speak. Not like I need to speak it. There is no storm energy on these High Templar. They're going to get taken out for absolute free. Like, what can you really do with this location? You can't go in there because those Zealots just won't get the surface area they need. Oh my gosh, it is absolute calamity here. Those siege tanks actually starting to focus fire on the Zealots, not getting the damage done that they need. I think ArT actually going to clean that out. Wow, those siege tanks were not focus fired, so they unfortunately did not get the shots that they needed. But wow. What a game to finish it off. ArT is going to take the prize pool. But you know what? The real winner is you guys, because you got to watch some high-level StarCraft, and I hope that makes your day a hell of a lot better. But that is going to be it for us here. I'd like to thank you all for tuning in. If you like the cast, it's all down here. That's all my information. I am freelance caster, so you can usually find me on many different channels. But yeah, go support the Alpha Pro series in any way you can. Check out the Matcherino page. Go to Alpha's social media, give them a like and a follow, and make sure you check out the next ones. They got some epic ones coming up. I think we got well, we just had Sue and TY on the Twitch channel on the 6th. I believe it is, let me just check right there because I want to give you guys the info. It's going to be let's see. I believe it's Solar and another. I do want to give you guys this information because like you do not want to miss this. Yeah, it's going to be TY versus Solar on the 6th. So make sure you come right back here on the 6th to check that out. And then we got some more Sue versus TY as well. So just a lot of epic players. A lot of great stuff coming up. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. We hope to see you at the next big one. And we'll see you soon. Peace.